Now, today I will be talking about Dasha Bhukti. Now, many people get confused about the Dasha Bhukti point of it because they have no understanding how to see the Dasha Bhukti. There was a person who came to me and he said, the Venus is exalted for me in the fourth house. Why do you think I am having a lot of problem in my horoscope across? I told him, you are Meena Lagna, the third and the eighth lord Dasha of Venus is not very positive for you as a person. So please understand something very clearly about Dasha Bhukti. The planets which are Trikonadibadi, that is 159, or if the planets are of 4, 7, 10 or 2, 11, will always produce positive result, though small or big, the level will vary. Whenever a planet is of 6, 8, 12, normally if they are not placed in 6, 8, 12, they are bound to give you lot of problem across. And there are mixed planets depending on the planetary position, association, and on the on the Gochara, everything will come to you as a person. For example, Mesha Lagna, third and sixth lord Mercury is generally a malefic planet. Now, eighth lord Mars is a malefic planet, but it depends on the position because it also becomes a Lagna lord. That is why many people of Mesha Lagna have injuries in their head and they die across. I have seen lot of Mesha Lagna people, they have problem with their head, and the ninth and the 12th lord becomes a Venus. This is also what you call a mixed planet. Depending on the placement, planet association, a variety of factors has to be taken before you make a prediction. The same thing can be told with Tula, where the first and eighth lord becomes a Venus, third and sixth lord becomes a Guru, the ninth and 12th lord becomes a Mercury. Almost literally lot of benefic planet becomes the what you call it as a negative planets for these people. The Guru is a positive planet, Venus is becomes a partially negative, Mercury also become partially negative. Next you take the Taurus Lagna, 1 and 6 is the same, so Venus can be malefic, and 7 and 12 is the same. Then Mars can be malefic, 8 and 11 can be the same, which is the Jupiter. So all these three planets can give you a very mixed influence by which you should be very careful about it. So in the same way, if you take Vrichika Lagna, the 7 and the 12 becomes the Venus, and also the 1 and the 6 becomes the Mars, and also the 8 and the 11 becomes a Mercury. So it's actually the replica which you can see it happening across. Now if you take Mithuna Lagna, Mars becomes the negative lord and Saturn becomes a negative lord, and also the the 12th lord is the what you call the Venus. So all these three things are there. Now if you take the Lagna of what you call Dhanus, the 6th and the 11th lord becomes Venus, the 12th lord becomes the Mars, and also the 8th lord becomes the Moon. So if the Moon is placed not in 6, 8, 12 for Dhanus, generally he will be producing a lot of negative influences in the chart. So first become very clear of where the position of the planet is. The second problem with the entire thing is Parashura says very clearly, whenever Rahu or Ketu is in Trikona, there will be very positive effects of Rahu Dasha. So don't get carried away by people who say 8th house Rahu is going to do well, because if the malefic gets lost, it is not at all true. So the first and the foremost important thing is you should be willing to look into the horoscope in a very objective manner than taking in a very subjective manner. The second most important thing is put the Lagna itself, wherever the Dasha or the Bhukti is there, put it as a lagna. For example, if somebody has Venus, Sun as the in the Makara and you are Dhanush lagna, if Venus Dasa is happening, put it as a lagna and read it. You will be able to understand about your Venus Dasha very very clearly across. Now, for example, I know a person whose name I don't want to reveal. Lot of people told Makara Lagna, fourth house, the Venus will do really good, really good, really good. But unfortunately, in Venus Dasha, he did not do well. Now, if you put Venus as the Lagna in Mesh, now the 9th and the 10th Lord, Saturn goes into Kanya, which is the 6th house. So, the problem with the entire thing is you should be able to read the horoscope by using two techniques. First, find out whether they are malefic planet or benefic planet, or they are mixed planet across. And the second thing is just put it as a lagna and read it across. If many planets are there in the 6, 8, 12 from the dasha, then generally the dasha will be very very negative across. This is a very very important and a useful technique for many people. For many people, for example, if the Jupiter dasha, the 10th Lord Mars is in the 12th house in Makara, the entire Jupiter dasha, your work is going to have a problem. So, unfortunately, people don't look at it as a very holistic view. They take Lagna as a main indicator and they come to a conclusion across. That is why many people do mistakes even in remedy across. The Bhrigu Nandi Nadi goes to the extent of taking a Bhukti's impact from every Karaka. They say the Bhukti is like a doorway. You have to look at it from a different doorway to see the different impact of the Bhukti. For example, if they want to know how the Bhukti is there, they will look at it from Saturn, how the planet is placed. If they want to know about the marriage, they will look at it from Venus, it is placed. For example, Saturn is placed in Mesh, a Guru Dasha is happening, a Guru is supposed to be in Tula, then their way of interpreting a Guru Dasha will be very different. If the same Guru were to be in Kanya, the entire Guru Dasha interpretation for the work will be very different. So the aspectual of taking the Karaka and interpreting the Bhukti is used in the Bhrigu Nandi Nadi across. So please become very very clear of how to go about it. There are many astrologers who go to the Amsa chart and they can read from that. For example, if you go to Dasamsa, you can put the Saturn as a Lagna and see the position of the Bhukti, which will give you a very very clear indicator of how the entire the particular Bhukti will be there across a person. So please understand, don't get carried away by people who say, oh, Sukra Dasha, you're going to be better, Guru Dasha, you're going to be better. Not at all true. The position of the planet at the various level will give you a very clear example of whether you are going to come up or go down in life across as a person. And also it's very very important, do the remedial measure across. There is no point in going on analyzing a Dasha Bhukti, but if you are unable to suggest a remedy, the remedy is very very important part of it. For example, somebody came to me and he said, I want to know the remedy for Ayush. I told, you do Ayush Suktam, you light lamp in the time of your birth. For example, if you're born at 7 o'clock, then light lamp on the every day 7 o'clock, because it will help you to overcome the karma about it as a person. So like that, you can develop a lot of pyrotechnique which will help people to have a better time. So don't interpret Dasha Bhukti extremely positive or negative and try to make it as some kind of a fatalistic thing. Try to make Dasha Bhukti into a remedies. If you don't know about the remedies, series, I have written extensively about the remedial measure. I have put classes on the Udemy which will be very, very helpful to you as a person. So it is very, very important that you understand the Dasha Bhukti and the remedy part of it, which will be very, very helpful to you as a person. Now, this if you find it very difficult, you can call me, subscribe to a product, and I will be very, very helpful to you. In fact, I have had some of the biggest success in the prediction, even in mundane astrology, because of the techniques what I use. You can discuss very, very clearly across. I pray God that those who are listening to this video have a very deep sense of understanding of astrology. May they master it across. I pray God that may you all succeed as an astrologer also. Thank you.